And after these things, I perceived another messenger, descending out of the heaven, having authority great, and the earth is illuminated out of the glory of him. And he cries in strength to voice great, saying, she it falls, Babylon the Great, and shall it become dwelling place of demons, in jail of every spirit unclean, in cage of every bird unclean, and having been hated, that out of the wine of the fury of the prostitution of her has drunk all the nations, and the kings of the earth with her commit prostitution, and the merchants of the earth out of the power of the indulgence of her are rich. And I hear another voice out of the heaven saying, be ye coming out of her, the people of me, that know ye should be being joint participants to the sins of her, and that know ye may be getting out of the calamities of her, that were joined of her the sins, until the heaven, and remembers the God the injuries of her. Be ye paying her, as also she pays you, and double ye to her doubles, and according to the acts of her, in the cup to which she blends, blend ye to her double, as much as she glorifies herself, and indulges, so much be ye giving her torment, and mourning that in the heart of her she is saying, I am sitting queen, and widow not I am, and mourning not, no I may be perceiving. Because of this, in one day shall be arriving the calamities of her, death and mourning and famine and in fire. She shall be being burned up that is strong, Lord the God, the one judging her, and shall be lamenting her, and shall be grieving on over her the kings of the earth, the ones with her committing prostitution and indulging whenever they may be, observing the smoke of the firing of her, from afar standing because of the fear of the torment of her, saying, woe, woe, the city, the great, Babylon the city, the strong, that in 1 hour came the judging of you. And the merchants of the earth are lamenting, and are mourning on over her. The cargo of them no one is buying any longer. Cargo of gold, and of silver, and of stone precious, and of pearl, and of cotton, and of purple, and of silk, and of scarlet. Also every kind of wood citron, and every instrument ivory, and every instrument out of the wood most valuable, and of copper, and of iron, and of marble, and cinnamon, and incenses, and attar, and frankincense, and wine, and olive oil, and flour, and grain, and beast and sheep, and of horses, and of coaches, and of bodies, and souls of humans. And the fruition of the yearning of the soul of you passed away from you, and all the sumptuous and the splendid passed away from you, and no longer not know you should be finding them. The merchants of these things, the ones being rich from her, from afar, shall be standing because of the fear of the torment of her, lamenting and mourning, and saying, woe, woe, the city, the great, the one having been clothed in cotton, and purple, and scarlet, and having been gilded in gold, and stone precious, and pearls, that to 1 hour was desolated, the so much riches, and every navigator, and every on the ships, the companionship, and mariners, and whoever on the sea are working from afar stand. And they cried, seeing the smoke of the firing of her, saying, Is there any light to the city, the great? And they cast soil on the heads of them. And they cried, lamenting and mourning, saying, Woe, woe, the city, the great, in which are rich all the ones having ships. In the sea, out of the preciousness of her that to 1 hour she was desolated. Be making merry you, on over her heaven, and the saints apostles, and the prophets, seeing that judges the God the sentence of you out of her, and lifts one messenger strong stone, as millstone as large, and cast it into the sea, saying thus, To rushing shall be casting down Babylon, the great city, and not know may be being found any more. In sound of lyre singers and entertainers, and of flutists, and of trumpeters, not know should be being heard in you any more. And every artisan of every trade, not know may be being found in you any more. And sound of millstone, not know should be being heard in you any more. And light of lamp, not know, may be appearing in you any more. And voice of bridegroom and bride, not know, should be being heard in you any more. That the merchants of you were the greatest of the earth, that in the drugging of you were deceived all the nations. And in her blood of prophets and of saints was found, and of all of the ones having been slain upon the earth.